reactor, we have a successful fusion reaction.
This is a breakthrough beyond your father's dreams.
G'day guys, Mr. Bennett here. Today we're going to be looking at fusion reaction. That's just the scene from Spider-Man 2. Right, so I don't know if you've seen Spider-Man 2, but I have. Well, it's not a bad film. When we start looking at fusion reactions, so the idea of fusion is that you are going to fuse different forms of hydrogen together. Now the three different forms of hydrogen that we actually have is H11, which is hydrogen, H12 deuterium, and H13, which is tritium. Right, so the only difference between those three isotopes of hydrogen is that they have extra neutrons in the nucleus. Now there is a range of different types of fusion reactions. So if you put two deuteriums together, that will produce hydrogen plus tritium, and then if you put two hydrogens together, you could form helium plus a neutron. Right? So those two reactions are just two types of fusion reactions, and for that to actually happen and give out energy, the mass of the reactants must be greater than the mass of the products, and therefore we get a exothermic reaction or release of energy. So when we start talking about that, this reaction here produces 2.25 mega electron volts, and that's 2.8 mega electron volts. Now, it's not a lot of energy really when you think about one reaction, but the thing about all of these nuclear reactions is you're getting trillions of these reactions happening every second. Alright, so that's why you get a huge amount of energy. The thing about this fusion reaction is that the process produces helium as your waste product. And we know helium is an inert gas. We also know that hydrogen, we have an endless abundant source of hydrogen. So we know water is H2O, so we have huge amounts of hydrogen out there that we can synthesize into any form that we like. So another reaction that you might see is deuterium plus tritium produces helium plus a neutron, and that reaction causes 17.6 mega electron volts. Right, so it's just a matter of using E equals mc squared to work out these particular calculations. So the main benefits of using a fusion reaction is there's no radioactive waste products. Well, there sort of is, but there's not really. Alright, so compared to fission reaction, certainly much better. Well, we pretty well have an unlimited fuel source. Right, so definitely over a billion years worth of hydrogen out there. There's no chance of ever having a nuclear meltdown or an accident like that. And obviously the waste product is helium, so it's a really, really clean fuel. So the disadvantages, I suppose, of the fission process is at present, we're only really at the break-even point. Okay, so that means that the amount of energy that we put in is about what we get out. And then obviously we have been able to do this in the laboratory, but to maintain that fusion cycle, the sustained fusion reaction is actually something we really struggle to do. Now, over the years there's been trillions of dollars of money put into this sort of nuclear research. There's been many films made about fusion. So I know a couple of Mission Impossibles, there was a film made about that, and obviously in the Spider-Man film there was one, but there's been countless other films made about nuclear fusion. Now it's interesting, back in the 1980s there were two very famous scientists who said that they discovered the process of doing fusion in the laboratory. They were awarded a Nobel Physics Prize, right? So, and then what unfortunately happened was we discovered that their research was falsified, and so therefore those two scientists were discredited. And yeah, it was a major thing in terms of this is the free energy that we were looking for in terms of allowing the Earth to sustain our present lifestyle without producing the greenhouse gases that obviously are produced by the fission reaction, or not the fission reaction, but conventional coal power stations. Alright, so fusion is seen as the long-term saviour of the world in terms of providing unlimited energy source quite cheaply, hopefully, and certainly with no long-term damage to the environment, and it's seen as quite a clean fuel source. All right, so anyway, you need to know a little bit about this. Don't have to know a lot, but you certainly need to understand the process of fusion, which is fusing together two lighter elements like hydrogen to produce helium. All right, so that's the process of fusion simply. So make sure you sort of understand this and can talk about it.